Scores for the California Police Officer Standards and Training Tests are normally distributed with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 10. A police department will only hire applicants with scores in the top 10%. What is the lowest score an applicant can earn and still be eligible to be hired by the agency? First thing that we're going to do is notice the mean and standard deviation. We have a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 10. So I'm going to write the mean is 50 and the standard deviation is 10. That will be important information. Next, we're going to want to see what the scenario is asking. What is the lowest score an applicant can earn and still be eligible to be hired by the agency? And it says it's only in the top 10%. So you can think about this in two ways. You can think of that top 10% is 0.10, and this is going to be the area on the right, because it says the top 10%. Or you can think about it as the area on the left is 90%, which is 1 minus 0.10. If it's the area on the right, you're going to have to look at the greater than or equal to. If it's area on the left, you're going to have to look at the less than or equal to. Your choice here. So we're going to have to figure out the x-score. Let's go ahead and choose the area on the right. We're going to type that in as 0.10. And we're going to look at, if it's area on the right, we're going to look at greater than or equal to. So now let's go to StatCrunch and see what we get. On StatCrunch, remember it's under Stat, then Calculators, and then we're going to go to Normal. We're going to change our mean, and we're going to change our standard deviation, and we're going to change our problem. So our mean in this problem is going to be 50, so change that to 50. Change our standard deviation to 10. And remember, we're going to do greater than or equal to. And our area on the right then is 0.10. And we can see our x-score is 62.815516. That's our x-score. So filling in our probability statement, this would be 62.82. Let's go ahead and interpret this statement. So we can say the fact is the score that separates the bottom 90% from the top 10% of all California police officer standard and training scores is approximately 62.82. We can also phrase it this way. The lowest score the applicant can earn and still be eligible to be hired hired is 62.82. That's really the interpretation of it. How did I know to write that? Well, it asks what is the lowest score an applicant can earn and still be eligible to be hired by the agency. So that's how I knew to write that sentence. So sometimes it's good for your understanding to write both types of sentences. To complete a problem, let's go ahead and write it on the curve here. So remember, our mean was 50 and our standard deviation was 10. And so I just add and subtract 10 from our mean of 50, and we get 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 for our scale. And then we're going to have our area on the left is 0.10, and our area on the right is 0.90, with our x score being 62. Let me label that. X equals 62.82. And let me label the areas on the left and the right here to get full credit. So the area on the right then is 0.90, or the 90%, and the area on the right is 0.10, which is the area on the right, or 10%. So there we go. We have completed our problem for full credit.